Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode number 73 of the Project 2020 show. It is Saturday of week 20, which means there are unfortunately no new cards coming out, but we still have 4 print runs to go over the next couple of days. We also have already now seen 6 print runs. What do they tell us for the future? And I'm also going to be releasing a new 20-part series over the next few weeks. Let's get to all that and more in 1 second. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the home of Project 2020 here on YouTube. My name is Chris, otherwise known on Twitter and Instagram at CRT_Sportscards. And if you want the most up-to-date website for Project 2020, go to my website, CRTSportscards.com. But before we get into the episode today, there's some really cool news. And the fact is, we have now seen one of the first Trout autos to show up from Project 2020. If you remember, starting at card 100, Mike Trout is now going to have a 10 card signed per release. There were a lot of questions around, would these be redemptions? Would these be sticker autos? How would these be handled due to the turnaround time of printing, putting them in the mags and shipping them out? And it's great to see we have now seen the first autograph show up. And one really neat thing here is it looks like they whited out the front of it a little bit to help out the autographs. So that's really nice. And then on the back of it, of course, they are hand numbered, which is fantastic. But it also at the bottom, it does say Topps certified autograph issue. So there's going to be no potential for anyone trying to fake these in the future. So I'm very happy to see Topps putting the wording on the back. I also will be tracking these on the website. So if you see them show up on eBay or on Twitter, tag me in a post, let me know. I don't think they're going to be that frequent of a card, but it's going to be great to put these all together 1 through 10 as the set builds out. But while that's exciting, what's even more exciting are the print runs from the Wednesday cards when you look at the Joshua Vides, Don Mattingly, and the Blake Jameson, Ted Williams. Both cards fell within my range, but on the extreme of both. So the Joshua Vides came in at 3,550. At the very top, I had 3 to 3.6. So good to see that card up there, you know, considering where we saw the Nolan Ryan this week. But 3.5, not a bad showing in the current economy of Project 2020. The Blake Jameson note, Ted Williams, surprised me just from the perspective of how many cards I thought Blake would purchase to sell his autographs. Now, 4.6 thousand right now is still a lot of cards, but I really thought that that card would still sell over 5,000. I had 4.5 to 5.5. I was just very surprised to see it come in on the low side of 4.6. So maybe if he bought 500, you know, maybe that's now 4.1, which is still a really good number right now when you think about it. But maybe he only bought a couple hundred, who knows? It's going to be very interesting to see, not only from Blake, but from all artists going forward, how do they handle these autographs? It feels like right now, in the moment, there is a massive saturation of autographs from the artists, just because there are so many cards out there and there's so many different variations. So it's going to be very interesting to see as we move forward from 200 to 300, do artists start saying, okay, I'm only going to do 100 per release or 200 or whatever that is. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. But 4.6, 3.5, not a bad showing at all for the Wednesday cards. We do, though, have 2 big cards dropping their print runs this morning with the Bin Baller Don Mattingly and the F. George Brett. Now, when you look specifically at the Bin Baller Mark McGwire, after 48 hours, 85 pre-orders, so I still like my range, 8.5 to 9.5. The eBay penetration for Bin Baller the past few releases has been, under 1%. His most recent release was just a little bit over 1%. I forgot what it was. And then his most recent release was Don Mattingly, a little bit over 1%, but I like this card right at 1% or a little bit less, just based on what we know about his fan base and the fact that he's out there talking about this is his favorite card. So I think we're still going to see a healthy number on this card, 8.5 to 9.5. Not going to get anywhere near 10,000, but I can't see this card starting with a 7 before. To me, that feels very low for a Bin Baller card. And then on George Brett by F. I really think we're going to see a number very similar to the Willie Mays by Gregory Siff. I do have 3.2 to 3.8, but I wouldn't be surprised if this card got a little bit above that, maybe in the 4,000 range. Obviously, F. has a large following and a good fan base behind that card, and it has the Pine Tar incident. So we will see where it goes, but based on the pre-orders, I like my range 3.2 to 3.8, but on the higher side of that number. And I've also put on the website as of last night the pre-order totals from the Old Man Allen, Jackie Robinson, and the JK5 Frank Thomas. The JK5 Frank Thomas is out in front at the moment. I do have different ranges for those cards, so please check out the website. And again, I will update it again tonight with the 48-hour totals, and we'll see if those ranges change. But I really like my ranges at the moment on both of those two cards. I am curious though, when you look at the week overall, how many cards did you buy? This week was very different than last week. Last week was kind of muted. This week, up and down, a lot of great cards, a lot of great artists. But I'm curious, how many cards did you purchase this week in Project 2020? Leave a comment below and let the fans know how many you purchased this week. And I couldn't do this episode on this Saturday without talking about the market, since we're not gonna probably talk for about a week when it comes to Project 2020 content and the market overall. But taking a look at first player pricing, when you think of 8.4 to 8.6, 3 cards right now are at their bottom range: Bob Gibson, Mariano, and Dwight Gooden. Dwight Gooden at 525 is very, very surprising. But when you look at also the cards that sold yesterday, another 4 cards were lower than their minimum range. So as I've spoken about, this is going to be a very difficult month. It's only August 8th. You know, also the same thing on second player. We have 3 cards, 8.4 to 8.6, that are at their bottom value. And then yesterday's prices, 4 cards again underneath their bottom value. So now on the Forgotten 7, they are all down from their highest other than the Willie Mays JK5. That's 185 the last couple of days. That's the second highest value. But you can see how all of these cards basically spiked. They ramped up and they ramped back down. So all of them are over the minimum value. Now keep in mind, Bob Gibson is 0.1% over, but it is over at the moment. Now the Y2K group is a bit different. You have Sandy Koufax, Tony Gwynn, Mark McGuire. Those values are now the highest. Now remember, our data sample here is very, very limited. But then when you look at Jackie Robinson, you know, that is down yesterday to its min. And then even though McGuire by natural is at $62.99, yesterday $55, that's a big gap in just one day on that card. So as we go through the month, it's only August 8th. We have 23 days left to go in this month. Continue to watch these prices. You know, I don't know if right now is the best buying time. It could be in a week from now. We don't know what's going to happen. But if you see a card continue to trend down and down and down, eventually you're going to have to make that decision. We're never going to know what the peak is, and we're never going to know what the valley is until it happens and it passes us by. So if you feel confident in a price and you feel confident in a card, make that purchase. Do not wait for it to bottom out, because you're not going to know until after it happened. So as I look forward now to the future of this channel and what the content schedule is going to be, right now it's still in flux. I want to see how this week goes when it comes to my work schedule. How do I feel about recording after I work for a day? I've never had to do that before. So I'm going to try to play it by ear this week, but you will get a video from me next Saturday. Set your calendars, set your bell notifications for the channel. I will have a video out at least on Saturday. But to keep the content juice flowing in a sense, I am going to start a new 20-part video series when it comes to Project 2020, and it's going to be strictly based on the artist, and each video is based on the artist, and it's going to be what I feel are their top 10 cards, or their cards in rank order 1 through 10. I'm going to cover all their print runs, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10. Talking about my favorites and maybe why and why not, why are they not my favorites. But here's where I need your help as a community around CRT Sports Cards. As I'm brainstorming this idea, what I want to do is make sure it's about the artist, but I would love to have another person's opinion on these cards. So I'm going to go in rank order 10, 9, 8, 7, all the way through 1. But if you see the artist list and you see an artist that you really like and you know right now what your 10 cards are in rank order, send me that list. What I would like to do is do a video where I talk about my 10 and at the same time say, well, hey, this is my 8th rank card, and by the way, this is Bill's 4th rank card. I would love to drive that engagement around these cards and these artists. So if you have an artist you really like, send me your top 10 list and I will try to include it in the show the best I can. But that's what I want to do for the time being, is release that 20-part video series. And I understand Don C only has 7 cards, so it's going to be a while before that video comes out. But for everybody else, I can do these, I think, over the next few weeks. And that way the videos are continuing at the same time we're keeping up the Saturday shows. I might also do a live feed on Thursday. Not sure about that yet, but we might do a test episode to find out. And I want to leave you with this. I really hope nobody out there goes through, obviously, any sort of unemployment or furlough period. I really hope that we get life back to normal as much as we can. But I want to recap a tweet that I sent out on April 8th, and it says, "Never again in our lifetime will we have this prolonged, paid or unpaid, absence from work. It's going to be great to look back in 5 to 10 years and see who took full advantage of this and recalibrated their professional life. Businesses will close, but others will open." If you're ever faced with a life-changing moment or a life-altering event, take full advantage of it. Don't let what others think or say dictate what you want to do. If you want to put out content around grass, you want to put content out around pavement or baseball cards, go do it. Because if it makes you happy, that's what matters. Go look back at my first videos of furlough, the first 40 episodes. I don't think those 40 episodes combined have the viewership of one of my Project 2020 videos. You never know when you're gonna hit it, and you never know when you're gonna find what you really, really like. And the stuff that I've learned over the past 4 months, I would never trade it for anything. Yes, I would have rather have worked over the 4 months. I would rather have earned a paycheck over the last 4 months. But what I've learned about myself and learned about what I can do and how much I can change in 4 months, this was just a magnificent experience. And although I hope nobody does have to go through this, if you do, take advantage of it. Do not let a single day go by without challenging yourself to be better and learn something new. Hopefully you liked the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more thoughts from me around week 20 in Project 2020, check out that playlist on the screen right now.